Good afternoon. My name is Cathy. I'm in Career Services at Flathead Valley Community College, and we're so glad that you could join us today for the Workforce Flathead Opportunity Fair. I'm going to be talking just for a few minutes about the importance of targeting your resume to the job that you're applying for. All of these videos throughout this week and the next 3 weeks will be on the Job Service Kalispell YouTube channel and also on the workforceflathead.com site of the Kalispell Chamber. So with that being said, let's get started. Isn't doing one resume enough? Maybe we wish it was, and maybe occasionally that will work, especially if there's a job that not a lot of people are applying for. But if you're applying for a job and it's a job that you really would like to get, you will do yourself and the employer a big favor by targeting that resume to the job description. The job description is your roadmap, and it helps you to be able to show that employer that your skills, your experiences, your accomplishments make you a good fit for the job. I'm going to give you a really basic example. Let's say I'm hiring someone to dog sit for me. And I ask for two things in my job description. I ask for someone who has doggy CPR experience or certification and has 1 year of experience dog sitting. So let's say that person applies to me and they leave out the part about the dog CPR. So now I am going to have to track them down and ask them if they have that. If I have a lot of applicants, that could be kind of inconvenient. You think about places like Google that get thousands of applicants a day. So the more that you can show that you can fit that job. We all have transferable skills when we're coming from previous employment or volunteer work or community service. And we can represent that as a fit for the next position as well. You can go from being a lift attendant to a customer service representative at Target, let's say, and use those transferable skills from being a lift attendant. Maybe you work with thousands of people on a busy holiday weekend with a smile on your face. You kept things organized and showed those customers from around the world a wonderful time. So those are the sorts of things that need to make their way to each resume and make it fit for the job. The job description is the roadmap. You can print it out if you like and take yellow highlighter or whatever your favorite color is, or you could just do a Google Doc of it and highlight it that way. But look for the keywords and for the things that they're asking for. And especially if they're asking maybe 3 times they've mentioned that someone should have good communication skills, well, then it would make sense that we would mention our good communication skills in the body of work that we have. Odds are we have had to communicate with customers, or maybe it's not a customer front-facing position, but with each other. And even if I work by myself remotely in my office, I'm still probably creating work for someone or working with someone. So I'm going to put up a basic resume, and we are going to use that as our example. Now, this is basically just a resume for format, so you can kind of get a sense of the order I might put things in. Resumes are lots of shades of gray, so to speak, and I don't mean that they look gray and white. I mean that there is no one perfect way for a resume to look. For example, some people might like upper and lowercase for the name on top there, Christo. Some people might like a little different type or font. Times New Roman is okay. You can do a search for resume fonts, best resume fonts of 2021, and you'll get a good list. Be sure that it's one that probably most people would have on their computer. Calibri always reads nicely. Times New Roman is clear, but in some tech fields might be considered old school. I don't know, something to think about. But as you're targeting your resume, be thinking about these things. Personally, I like to put my contact information in a nice tidy 2 lines if I can at the top, so I'm not taking up valuable real estate on my resume with my contact information. Put 1 phone number, a professional email. You don't necessarily have to put a full address, maybe just hometown Montana with a zip. Professional email, because employers do note what your email says. And if you have a LinkedIn account, put that on there as well. Up here, you can put your summary that pulls together your body of work, your skills, your accomplishments, maybe your education, and it tells the employer what you bring to them. It used to be more, people would put objectives instead of summaries there, and objectives are more what you want from the company. I would like an opportunity to gather sales experience and work my way into. When a company doesn't know you yet, odds are it's going to make more sense when you say, I am an enthusiastic people person, was customer service professional of the month, 3 months running, with a passion for keeping accurate records. I don't know, I'm winging that one. But that right away, in the very limited time that people take a look at resumes, statistics show it's anywhere from 6 to 30 seconds. So if you think 6 seconds, what are they going to look at on your resume when an employer actually sees it? They're going to probably look at your name, your summary, and then run down that left column since we read left to right. They might see things that are in bold. So your most important stuff should go up top, but if it's not relevant and important, it shouldn't really be on the resume anyway. Your summary of qualifications, I like to do these in one column. It makes it through computerized applicant tracking systems better than a couple columns. I would leave out graphics in that regard too if it's going through an applicant tracking system, but that is a conversation probably for another time. If you're interested, do a web search for applicant tracking systems and how to make your resumes applicant tracking system friendly. In this case, if you do a summary of qualifications, make them appropriate for the job you are applying for. You might have a generic resume already for your customer service job, but every description is going to ask for something different. So you might switch these out. You might change the order and some of the wording. And as much as you can quantify and qualify, if I say I have excellence in customer service, I should be able to scroll down here and an employer should be able to see, oh, wow, this individual really does have great customer service. If you can quantify and qualify, and that might mean, let's say I say that I worked in a busy box store as the customer service professional. If I say I worked at a busy box store waiting or helping over 500 customers a day, sometimes up to 1,000 on a busy holiday weekend. Once again, with that smile on your face, if you won some awards, if you were asked to train other people based on the great job that you were doing, those sorts of things can quantify and qualify. That's better than just listing job duties. Job duties would read like, oh, like my kids have the job duty of cleaning their room, right? Maybe some of you have kids who that's their job duty too. So a job duty would say, I need to sweep, I need to put away the laundry, I need to make my bed. Okay. So if you're going to target this and highlight your accomplishments, what they could say on their kid resume is 99% of the time I cleaned my room without being asked. I also swept under the bed, which was an additional activity that I took upon myself, and I helped my sister clean her room too. Those are accomplishments instead of those line item job duties. If you are ever stuck on trying to figure out transferable skills, let's say from your past job going into the new job, maybe you're going from working as a medical receptionist to a culinary professional. I think you probably have quite a good body of transferable skills. There is a great Department of Labor website. It's onetonline.org. O, N as in Nancy, E-T, online.org. And you can take a look for different occupations, and there's a variety of information about each of those. There's a place on there called Detailed Work Activities. Look at that old position and then have the new job description in front of you. And you're going to see some of those activities you did will transfer to the new position. One thing to keep in mind too is List accomplishments under your employment. Did you create something? Did you train people? Did you recruit? Did you develop policies? Did you supervise a variety of programs? Once again, those quantifying and qualifying pieces make this so much more powerful, so much, it's much easier for the employer to see that you're a good fit for the position. Connect the dots for them. Start those accomplishments with strong, vibrant action verbs. Like we mentioned, we're not going to say my duties included, I'm going to say I developed, I recruited, I used, I assisted, I led. You can actually do a web search for resume action verbs and you will come up with a million different sites that can help you. I know I kind of get stuck with using the words created and problem solved a lot, so that will help you with that. Scrolling down here, I put my education up top because perhaps my education is recent and it's what's most relevant for the position. So once you get more job experience, let's say I am going into nursing, my education, if I'm a brand new nurse, might come up to the top. As I develop more job experience, I might put my work at whatever hospital and then move my education farther down. My related experience, and here I have volunteer experience. And here I have other experience, which might not be fleshed out quite as much as my related experience. At the very least though, if I do a line or two in my other experience, I'm going to want to make sure that I describe my transferable skills. So we want to use the job description as a roadmap. We want to use a summary as opposed to an objective up top if we can, that says what we bring to the table. We want to highlight our accomplishments as much as we can put in numbers or qualify it with some descriptors. If I say that I was a receptionist at a property management company, it would be more powerful if I said I was a receptionist for a property management company with 20 different account executives with $3 million worth of property that we were taking care of. Or 100 calls a day. At least then they'll get a sense of what that means. What does busy mean? We talked about education towards the top when it's recent and relevant. Bringing in your projects, relevant coursework, community involvement, school involvement. Doing a little more research maybe on your own for the sake of the time we have today on an applicant tracking system resume, and how you'll want to simplify those a little bit so they don't get stuck in that applicant tracking computerized system. Your font size, make it readable. 11 to 12 point type is usually pretty great. Keep your margins nice and consistent. Don't get beyond 0.5 or it starts looking like you're squishing things in. One-page resumes are great. Two-page resumes can be great too. Some companies will ask for a one-page, some don't mind. Surveys have been done all over the map with recruiters on what they prefer. But if it's on your resume, be sure it's relevant. It makes sense for what you're applying for. So if you have follow-up questions, feel free to reach out. I can be connected with careers@fvcc.edu. And I am going to put up a slide that has that information, hopefully. Let's see. I have two that are absolutely identical, so let's hope this is the right one. There, hopefully that's in front of you now. So for resume tip, if you have basic questions, I can be reached at careers@fvcc.edu. We also have a website here that has additional information on resumes, cover letters. There's some videos as well. You can also connect with Job Service Kalispell at 758-6200, and they are at Kalispell JSC, that's S as in Sam, C at mt.gov. So thank you for your time today. Workforce Flathead Opportunity Fair runs throughout the rest of April, and this will be seen on the YouTube Job Service channel as well as workforceflathead.com. Take care.